What's up, Kansas City and beyond? And you're listening to the Cascade. Oh, okay. What's up, Kansas City and beyond? You're listening to the Cascade Media Hour, brought to you every Monday at 6 p.m. on KUAW 98.5. And this is brought to you in partnership with the Black Family Technology Awareness Association and the Kansas City Business Association. Of course, the Cascade Media Hour is affiliated with Cascade Media Group, which is the parent company for whatsupkansascity.net and CascadeSports.tv, and the soon-to-come WhatsUpWorldwide.com. And I'm here in the studio, and I have a special guest, someone I've been trying to interview for like 2 years now. Has it been 2 years?
It's been that long? Oh, man.
It seems like every time I hit you to try to do something happens. We got to reschedule, do something. And we're talking about one of my favorite subjects when it comes to music, hip-hop. So I have in the studio Facebook Jesus, a.k.a. Clark Roosevelt.
What's happening?
And also the creator of Cleverwear.
Clever World.
Okay. He does clothing as well. So he's and what else do you do? You're graphic designer, producer. Part-time comedian.
I get asked that a lot. Like, bro, are you a rapper or are you a comedian? I'm like, I'm just an entertainer.
Right.
Yeah,
you said you were going to do a little stand-up, though.
Yeah, I do want to do a little stand-up. That was, like, my dream when I was in, like, the second grade. Because, like, I was, like, funnier than everybody in the room. And then, like, when you got, like, your teacher... Your teacher's laughing too. It's like, hey, I might be on to something. Yeah.
Did you track some jokes so you can get out of stuff for school?
Nah, I like when it came to that, I was like, I had no material for getting out. It was just, I was one of them kids who were like, hey, I did it. What we gonna do? What trouble I got to get into? Right. Man? So. And
then you also you have a heart for the community.
I do.
You have is this the second annual?
Second year, yeah.
Yeah, for the toy drive. Yep. Tell us a little bit about the toy drive. It's this Wednesday, and it's at 8 p.m. And you have, of course, a lineup of entertainers, and then people are going to bring toys to give to the youth. Mm-hmm. And you're doing the toy drive up until Christmas, right?
Yep, up to a couple of days before Christmas. The premise of it is it's called the Santa Clark Toy Drive, and we're trying to raise 500 toys. Mm-hmm. And I'm basically like, the premise of it is like, any way I can get 500 toys. You know what I'm saying? This is the means of keeping my integrity.
Any way I can.
You know what I'm saying? Not crossing my principles or my morals. Like, any way I can get 500 toys this next month, I'm gonna do it.
Okay, that's what's up.
I'm at probably, I got a couple events in between there. We're gonna do some Christmas caroling for one.
Okay. So you gonna actually like rapping or singing?
We singing. Like, we doing what we get. Like I said, we doing what we got to do to get 500 toys. Well, I am, like, you know what I'm saying. Everybody not gonna be on for the ride. But like, if I'm showing up by myself, Christmas tree, Christmas.
So are you gonna be like in the Santa outfit too?
Nah. It was, man, like that's where one of my principles is violated, because I'm not gonna be in costume. Maybe next year, man. That was the plan for this year, but a lot of things got put together, not how we wished. Me and my homie Jeremy Mott, we had kind of been the two main people brainstorming on it. Mm-hmm. He had really got on. He had really helped me out last year. Once we had finished, we had already did the toy drive. We was aiming for 100 toys. We got 300, but so like the toy drive ended on the 23rd. Mm-hmm. The 24th, which is Christmas Eve, me and him was at the Loop on 39th Broadway. We was at the Loop.
Shout out to the people who own the Loop, or
man, those my people, man.
Yeah, I think they were going to an online platform.
Yeah, they went to an online platform. Mm-hmm. Shout out to T
Jarvis,
Steady P, man. Them they're like
They're very supportive of the hip hop community.
Oh yeah.
Like as far as
I'm gonna say me specifically. They had me specifically. They was instrumental in my come up into where I'm at. Like the loop.
I remember when you did that video where you was rapping there.
Ah, yeah. I get off work because I worked up at the spot up the street, and I get off work, and they was having an event, and my DJ, who was Max Groove, was down there spinning. Max Groove too. He helped me with the playlist the other day. So I just told him like I need songs from this artist. This artist. He's like, okay. Max,
and then he hit me back. He came through.
Max the man. Max is, man. People get us. What's funny is Max is my DJ, but people get us mixed up for each other. Not everybody.
You don't even look like each other though.
It's a certain demographic that gets us confused with each other. It's not. What was funny this weekend was like for the first time since forever. Somebody came up was like, because I work at Ruins Pub, and he was DJing. I worked the door, and so people like, oh, this woman came in and was like, hey, yo, is Max Groove spending the night? And I was like, I looked, I said, you don't think I'm Max Groove? And she was just like, no, you look nothing like Max Groove.
Y'all don't.
And I was just like, hey, I was like, yeah, he's spending the night. He over there right now. She was like, oh, thanks. And I was just like, cool. So yeah, I mean, I walk in the loop and he was spinning, and he always like every now and then he'll pull out a mic and then just start playing my music and then be handing me the mic. I'm just like, but like I was at the loop, so I was like, yeah, boy, and I had my apron on still. It was a tight experience.
Where is that at? That's on YouTube.
Where is it? I know it's somewhere. Well, like a bunch of people was there. It was probably about, I want to say about 10, 15 people in the store. So like everybody had their phone cameras out. So it's.
Oh, I seen the video though. That's why I said it was some video where you was at the loop and then you was just rapping.
It's at I'm pretty sure. Well, every now and then in my Facebook memories it'll pop up.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get into just you in general. Like, when did you find your love of hip hop?
Dang. I was listening to the radio, and it was like Biz Markie was on there. And he was like beatboxing. And I'm like, you know, so I'm jamming, and then like he get done beatboxing. They was like, yo, so when'd you get into beatboxing? I'm like, I don't even know what beatboxing is at this point. I was introduced to music through gospel, classic soul, and classic rock. So like hip hop wasn't really it wasn't my start. So like when I heard that, I don't know how old I was. I was maybe 6 or 7. Oh, okay. And I was like, hey, yo, he doing that with his mouth, he beatboxing. that's all like verbal. And so then I started working on beatboxing. That was like my introduction into hip hop. But I mean, even after then, like my parents was like, I still could only listen to like oldies 95. Well, like I was
so
like,
you had those parents that were like, they restricted you from it.
Well, it wasn't really a restriction. It was more of a like what parents are supposed to do with hip hop. Like, yo,
because some of it can get kind of vulgar.
We're gonna listen to it with you. You know what I'm saying? To explain to you what, you know what I'm saying, what's going on, which is like what parents are supposed to do with anything, like music, movies, all that. And that's
screen what you can do.
Yeah, but most parents ain't, you know what I'm saying, not like that, which is my problem with stuff like gangster rap. And you know what I'm saying, when I say I want to hold a artist accountable, and the artist is like, well, it's not my job to raise the kids, but it's like, yo, you know that most of the black community ain't got their pops there.
Right,
and
that's
then,
true.
You know what I'm saying, when they pops ain't there, their mama working 2 jobs.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
In the meantime, you know what I'm saying, while they off doing what they doing, you know what I'm saying, the kid at home by itself, or the kid is over a friend's house, or doing this and that, and they hearing your music. So like that's why, like, and a lot of people will be like, yo, it's their art form. I'm like, that's cool. I understand that. At this point in my life, I understand that, and I don't really like bash artists, but at the same time, I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying, if I got a homie or put on Facebook like, yo, you know what I'm saying, you want to be 30 and still talking about how you shooting people.
Right. That's real. So basically, you're challenging other artists, like, to kind of,
tell the truth for one. Cause it'd be a lot of stop lying in your raps, fam. Just stop. Let it go. Like, bro, I know you work at Price Chopper, fam. You not out here. Come on, man. And I'm not going on the people that work at Price Chopper because it's a respectable job. But like, don't be like something. Yeah, man, I'm moving this way, I'm moving that way.
You're not doing. Yeah.
I got Lamborghinis. Like, no, bro.
That's not what you're doing.
No, bro, man. Man, you out here in the Honda Civic, bro. 98 Honda Civic.
Not here. I was trying to act like you were pushing weight.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. I probably got more money than you, bro. Like, don't do that to the people, man. And how many girls you got? Like, girls don't like broke dudes, so cut that out. So, like, yeah, I'm one of the people that hold artists accountable. Like, if I'm not as like clean or like I don't cuss or anything in my music like that, but at the same time, like, tell the truth. Be
yourself.
Be yourself. Yeah. Be yourself. Yeah. Be yourself or don't rap. Like, flat out, like, be yourself or don't rap, bro. If you hit your mama basement, man. If you don't want to rap about living in your mama basement, fine. I get
Well,
that.
I mean, I think everybody kind of, in some aspects, makes their own, like, persona. Because some people say, like, when they meet people in person, sometimes they're not how they are from social media or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes it's people about making a persona.
Yeah. Because, like you said, with the social media thing, like, everybody's not the same on social media as they are in real life.
Yeah, I met some people, I'm like, that is not...
Like, whoa, bro, like...
that is not you. Like,
they on funny in person.
They on social media, they just da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and then you meet him, you're like, okay,
that's a whole other thing. But, social media is not, like, somebody's social media ain't as influential as their music.
That's true. That is true.
So, social media is kind of... Social media is kind of like who we wish we were in real life for some people. Like, yo, man, I'm not really comfortable with being funny in real life, but I can type 100,000 jokes on Twitter. But in real life, you around me, I'm just quiet and I ain't really got nothing to say. Or like, I could be really judgmental on Facebook, but if I see my homegirl wearing something that's a little risque, I'm like, yeah, girl, you cute, girl. But yeah, stop lying in your raps, man. That's first and foremost. If we would all live by that, because most drug dealers aren't making music.
Oh, I mean, then on top of that, it's like, why would you just sit out there and just put on display what you were doing illegally? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Look what I'm doing, cuz.
Right, nowadays, they will come and swoop you at the studio, bro. Like, why are you talking about?
If they really think you doing something, they really coming, think you, bro. Like,
yeah, they really think you out here doing what you say. It's because, some people, like you said, they make it bigger than what it is. Like, you really doing it like that? You might look up, and they gonna be...
you in the booth, and you hear your music cut. I'll be like, hey, man, why you come up? And the police chief just like,
come on. Yeah, right. So when did you start taking it seriously, like, where you just actually did the art form? Like, you actually started writing raps and getting in the booth?
I didn't really take it serious until, I want to say shortly after high school. Well, I mean, man, even later than that, because I got into it and was like, yo, I'm going to do this. But then me and the homie fell out.
Oh, so you were with
yeah. It's surprising who I was with, too, man. I ain't gonna say who it was.
Before?
It was me and another person.
Oh, wow, okay.
And so, we fell out and we had been cool, and then we recently fell out again.
Okay. Yeah, maybe it's just not meant for y'all.
No. We wasn't like, we didn't like reconcile. It's like, yo, we about to do this. Nah, it was just like, hey, man, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping on what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Luckily that happened, because if I was still been stuck to this person, then...
Who knows what would have happened?
Well, like, he just got a bad reputation at this point.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
and, like, we on two very different paths, whereas, like... He's one of those people. There's two different people on the track, and not, you know what I'm saying, in real life.
Oh, okay. No diss though, right?
I mean, if he's listening, and yes, This is a diss. That's exactly what this is. Like, I don't want it to be confused. Cause like when I say
I'm trying to, keep Serenity trying to keep the peace. So I'm saying like, no, this though. But never mind, it isn't this.
That's exactly what this is. This is I'm not gonna say who it is. He know who it is.
Oh, okay. So, well, then you being cool with it if you're not necessarily naming names. Some people be like, yeah, so and so and such and such. So you being calm with it.
This what I'm gonna say, man. Like, I'm not the type of person that's. Let me put this on side. My bad. I'm not the type of person that's.
You're not that type of person.
I'm not a violent person, but like. Some lines have been crossed where I'm like, okay, it's time for me to troll. I'm a troll and we're like, people are like, yo, you just a troll on Facebook. Like, nah, I'm Facebook Jesus everywhere. Any chance
you're
I
omnipotent,
get.
You're everywhere.
Yeah, so yes, I like that. Somebody called me the trolley ghost. At work was like, Facebook Jesus, the trolley ghost. And I was like, I like that, man. I'm gonna keep that. So
you started out. I learned something. So you started out in a group, and then you broke away. So when did you become like? Did you have a? Sometimes rappers they go through phases of different stage names. Did you have different stage names?
Oh yeah,
and all that?
yeah. So this is. Oh man. Well, I mean, this was part of the reason why we didn't work out too.
Okay.
Whereas like, once I came up with my name, it was towards the end of, it was towards like, around the time it was cracking anyways.
Oh, okay. You mean, so you started you got some momentum by then, is what you're saying?
Well, yeah, like I hadn't even had anything recorded.
Oh, okay.
But, me and this person was going to an open mic down at the Greg Center.
Mm-hmm.
The Good Lows was throwing it.
Okay.
Like I think it was bi-monthly, I believe. And, which is crazy, like a lot of the people who are really working now, which are really working and moving forward now, are, like we all started down there.
Oh, okay.
So like probably about 5 or 6 of us are either in the position that I'm in, where I have, somewhat of a name, or they even,
Mm-hmm. More
past that,
right.
which is tight, which is to see them out in public and we just like, hey, So, but once I figured out what my name was, first it was like I think it was Strength, which was like, I spelled it real funny, and like I was like, yo, this is the hardest thing ever.
Put like an F or something in there.
Yeah, with an F or PH, it was bad. But like whenever somebody would like announce it, they'd be like,
what?
What is this?
What is this?
And I just get up there and just be like, yo, it's Strength, man. Like, why is you doing all this? But then it was like Recess, which was like kind of like, cause I was.
Why Recess?
It was just cheesy, man. Cause like I played with words.
I thought you were gonna say something about something like, what that Bernie Mac talk about? Cause I don't play.
That would have been tight. That would have been tight. But nah, it didn't go down like that. Nah. So
remember he was like, I quit school.
Yeah, that would have been tight. But nah, it wasn't that. But then after that, it was ARN, which is an abbreviation of my real name, Aaron.
Oh, okay.
ARN. It was gonna be a rare nobody. That's what that stood for.
Oh, okay.
Which was
would have been good.
Yeah, which was more progress. It was like yeah. But then we was going through like.
So is this when you was still with the other person?
Yeah. Like I'm
I'm
going through these name changes like as we are going along.
Oh, okay.
And I only had like 2 or 3 tracks recorded, and they was over industry beats. I hadn't even had no demo and mixtape or anything out at this point. And so it was around this time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And we was all me and my family, we was going through, photo albums and stuff like that. I know like most black families don't do stuff like that, but we was
Some
like,
of them do.
most of them don't. Like, they do not relate to this part of the story at all. Like, photo albums. Who has photo albums? And I'm like, yeah, we got photo albums.
My mama got a whole bunch of.
We got like 5, 6, 7 of them over in the corner with just with like
nothing in them.
Nah, it's stuff in them. It's wedding. We go through the ones my mom and pop's wedding because they've been married for 30 years. So we'll go through that. We'll go through, you know what I'm saying, the other stuff where my mama got photo albums from when she was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
My pops doesn't because it was a house party that got theirs. But go through that, then the ones with our childhood or whatever.
Yeah.
But we get to one that had a napkin that said Clark Roosevelt. So I was
okay. Who is Clark Roosevelt?
Clark Roosevelt was gonna be my name.
Oh, instead of Aaron?
Yep, but my mom said that my pops didn't like it and my aunties didn't like it.
Oh, okay.
Roosevelt is my grandfather's middle name.
Oh, okay.
Mama just told me, she told me that. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting all this backstory and I'm in the middle of, you know what I'm saying, finding a name. I'm
finding
yourself
artistically.
I was like, that's going to be my name, Clark Roosevelt. She was like, what? I was like, yup, that's going to be it. Okay. And so, took it with in mind how to make this a household name. It has to have I thought to myself, has to have a certain look to the name. So I put 2 O's in there and I put 2 T's in the E at the end.
Okay. So do they still have that the Roosevelt special at the?
Nah, man, we ain't gonna mention them neither. We're not gonna mention it. It was never. It was the Roosevelt special, which was like, it's probably like one of my favorite things that like didn't happen, which is still, which is gonna officially happen.
Okay. Well, let's take a break and then we'll talk about that part because I was saying I thought that they had that.
It wasn't official.
Well, it was off the record.
That's why I can't plug them.
Okay. Well, after we come back from the break, we'll talk about that. And then, of course, you listen to the Cascade Media Hour brought to you every Monday at 6 p.m. on KUAW 98.5. And that's in partnership with the Black Family Technology Awareness Association and the Kansas City Business Association.
But the person is AJ Young. Yeah.
Okay. And we are back. Of course, we have in the studio Clark Roosevelt, aka formerly Strength, and Aaron, and
Recess.
And Recess.
As a kid, me and my cousin, we was Lil Wreck.
Little Wreck?
Yeah, not Little Wreck. Lil Wreck.
Lil Wreck. Okay.
Lil Wreck, all in your system set.
So we were talking about how he came up with the name Clark Roosevelt. And it was basically one of them like epiphany moments, like when you heard the story of how that was gonna be your name, and then you were like, yeah, like that's it. And then he's so bright that he thought like I'm gonna spell it a certain way that it would be marketable
so
for
it can
people.
Be a household name,
right? And then so tell us how you came up with your brand, your clothing brand.
This happened around the same time. Oh, did it? No, Clever was before. Yeah. Okay, see.
Was Clever before the name?
Clever was before the name. Clever was before Clark Roosevelt.
How is that?
This is where ARN came from.
You got a prolific mind. You just knew. You just knew, like, yeah, because that goes with that.
Okay, Clever came from first. Which was horrible. Like the names for my. Like I'm so glad I had the instinct to change my names and stuff. But that does
go with that. That's why I said like that just.
Man, it was just. I'm gonna just say it was the universe.
Jesus for real.
It was real Jesus. Yeah, that's what it was.
The real Jesus, right?
It was real Jesus. We got a conglomerate of different types of Jesuses. And it was the creative Jesus was like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna hook you up, bro. I see you over here struggling, faithfully."
Right, with all these different names.
Yeah. So at first first it was called I Rock Tees and Hoodies.
Okay.
It was the spelling was horrible there too. It was like a lowercase I and then like a capital R and OCK and then like Tees and Hoodies.
Okay.
It was I showed my business partner the designs because before my business partner got on board, it was you know what I'm saying, I'm showing all my friends these designs or whatever, and they like, yo, this is tight. But like I show them my stuff, I show them that same stuff now, and they like, bro, you was tripping. And I'm like, but y'all was liking this stuff, and so. But,
I mean, I like the stuff you have now. I mean, I didn't see the stuff before.
You don't want to see that stuff. You don't want to. It was,
you know, I don't want to see that.
Like the files won't even open no more. Thank God.
What you mean? They
just too old.
Oh, okay.
Like
okay.
I made them on the old platform, but it was I rock tees and hoodies, and I just got to a point where I was like, nah, this is cheesy.
Not gonna work. Yeah,
this is terrible. And then I had seen I rock at like maybe 3 other instances. One was like on TV.
I was just say that I think I've seen a couple different people doing that I rock blah 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 or something like I rock.
I said nope, I can't do it. Plus I really sat down and self-reflected. I was like depressed at this time too, so like I wasn't really going out. My girlfriend had just broke up with me, so I was in deep thought always. You know what I'm saying? And so I would be up all night working on this. You know what I'm saying? I would either be writing lyrics or I would be working on the clothing line.
Okay.
So I mean, one day I was just like, nah, this ain't gonna work. I probably had 40 or 50 designs. I looked at all of them, scrapped all of them, every last one of them. And so I was like, I gotta come up with a name. So the premise, I wanted to be kind of a witty clothing line. So I was like, what's another word for witty? You know, I was like, clever. So I was like, I don't really look marketable. Same thing, you know what I'm saying? This was...
So everything you make, you was trying to make sure.
That it look, because I mean that's one thing a lot of people don't do.
That's true.
And I think that's one thing that has really set me apart from everybody else. Whereas, everything is completely original. I draw inspiration from other things, but at the same time, everything is completely original. I do it most of everything by myself, design wise and idea wise. So once I came up with clever, I was like, I gotta have a certain way to spell it or break it down for it to be marketable.
Right.
Because at that point it was like 6 letters. So I was like,
they said the shorter the acronym or something, the better. Yeah.
So I broke it down to 4, CLVR, and I was like, bang.
Okay.
Bang. I was like, yup. And then like, that was in like February. But then like, that around this time that year, came up with Clark Roosevelt, and I was like, okay.
So that was like a year had passed in between that, you said?
February to November.
Oh, so okay, that's probably like 8
9 months, yeah. And I had, you know what I'm saying, developed different designs and everything for Clever at that point. Which they was trash too. But all them got trashed, but you know what I'm saying, the brand was there. And so once Clark Roosevelt too, because the synonyms are all like similar. So I was like,
yeah, that's why I said like the way that lined up, that was
perfect.
That was perfect.
Yeah. It was. I mean, like a dream come true, basically. Like it was what I wanted. It was what I needed. It was what my brand needed. And from there on, it still took me a while to get designs that I liked out. And I think.
And as far as like most of your designs, you do them yourself, right? Because I know you said you work with somebody, but that goes into the graphic design portion.
Yeah, which was, at that point, nobody else has designed anything else that we have released.
Oh, okay.
Thus far.
Okay.
So, like, it's all a conglomerate, but at first I was selling them different. It's 2 different entities because I had not had any music done yet. But the clothes was ready at this point.
Okay.
To at least be sold or like be seen by the public. So we had started pushing them. Well, I printed off. I was doing 101s, like made the order. But then my homie got on. My best friend, Ordinal Best, got on. Was like, yo, let's do this.
Right.
And then we had ordered first like big shipment of, You know what I'm saying? 12 of these, 12 of those, 12 of these, and we've been grinding since then.
Yeah. So, I know you did have them at the Loop. Are they at any other physical locations right now, or are you still just selling them? Well, they were there, but I'm saying like.
No,
are they
not
in
anywhere else right
now?
now.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Not that I know of. I'm gonna say that.
What you mean? Not that I know.
Not that I know of. Like, you know, say because people work on different things, and you know, so we'll look up in February or March.
And there'll be
Loop 2.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. So, I also wanted to talk about just some different things that's going on in hip hop in general. So, Cardi B, like, how do you, like, some people say, like,
man,
she's just gonna have this one hit, and that's it. Like, and I'm just like,
it's not what's happening, man. That's just not what's happening right now.
How do you feel about that?
Well, this is my thing with Cardi B. I don't think she's writing her music anymore. I think somebody else is writing for her.
Whoa, okay. So she's got a ghost, is what you saying?
Yeah, of course, man. Okay, this is not a jab at strippers, but strippers not coming, like, a stripper is not gonna come and drop a hot 16. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, she's been rapping for a little bit though. So I mean, and I've listened to some of her stuff.
And you can tell the difference between what was going on then.
It was almost like, okay, but it's almost like, okay, maybe she progressed. Cause I've seen just, you know, because I do poetry too. I've been in the arts community. Oh, yeah. You might see people, they weren't that good when they first started, and then they kept at it, and then it's like, oh, okay, so and so,
There's a difference between progression and a total switch of style.
True.
And cadence.
True, that's true.
You don't switch cadence overnight. You know what I'm saying?
So you saying like
I'm one of them artists where
you pop up like, wait a minute.
Well, some people say that. Rapping like this for 5 years.
Some people say that Nicki got a ghost.
Of course,
okay.
She does now. She does now because she's more into pop now.
Okay. So you saying because she switched over to pop, that's why you think
she's not writing those hits. I guarantee she's not writing those hits.
Possibly.
She got a factory now. Like,
so you saying she's too busy to try to do that, or are you just saying like
she don't have that talent?
Oh.
I gotta be. Okay. I have to be. I feel like I have to be
that 100. Okay.
Yeah. We was somewhere. We was at Riot Room. I was with my homie Kadesh Flo, and one of my homegirls came up to me. She's a white girl. And she was like, you know what I'm saying, trying to rap over the beat, but, you know what I'm saying, her own lyrics. And I was just like, nah. I said, don't go into rap. Like, straight up. And he heard me over the music because he was right next to me. And she just kind of walked off. And he was like, yo, bro, did you just? I was like, yeah. I couldn't let it happen. I didn't want to, no West Coast Chanels. I can't deal with it. It's the little white girl, midget girls that's rapping now.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
If they would have came to me, nah.
No.
Nope.
Well, what about Iggy then? I mean, I know she's kind of...
Iggy?
She's starting to... I think she had a single...
Iggy.
Yeah, she had a
a
single that just came out not that long ago, I thought, right? I don't think it really... But I mean, like...
Well, T.I. dropped her too.
Well, yeah. I mean, when she started doing kind of, you know, saying crazy stuff, I'm sure he would. Well, but initially, he had her back like.
This was my thing with Iggy. She didn't come and like try to be something else, sort of say like. She didn't switch up her style, like. She was rapping like that before she got on. And
okay, so you saying Cardi like she just done a complete like
switch up. And this too, Iggy's pop.
Yes, I mean
anybody would be like, yeah, Iggy's a hip hop artist. Like, no, bro, you out your mind.
Yeah.
If you would count that as hip hop.
Not really.
It's just like it was her and Nicki and Iggy would be in the same genre. It's pop. They pop artists. They not strictly pop. They mix a little rap into their pop, but pop is a conglomerate of different styles that pop. You know what I'm saying? You can have some that pop. Like, that's what pop is. Like, that's exactly what it is. It's like pop culture. You know what I'm saying? Pop culture has hip hop. It has a little bit of hip hop in it. Got a little country. Got a little cinema. You know what I'm saying? And so pop is pop
popular,
culture,
yeah,
and is pop culture in music form.
Right. Mm-hmm,
so that's why Nikki, she doing the auto tune singing and all of that.
Well, I mean, she probably did all that too. I mean, you hitting a bigger audience. Like a lot of artists, a lot of artists now they want to go to pop because you make more money and different, more people. So
the pop artists make the most money because of that. They doing so many things. That's why Drake has incorporated the congos and what's his name, Bruno Mars has kind of brought the funk back. You know what I'm saying? It's not in the funk section,
right?
But it's in the pop section.
Yeah, they still
he's a pop artist.
Pop, yeah.
So like,
but it's rather funky. Have you heard that whole CD? The last
I'm
one?
not really into.
You're not into Bruno? Oh, okay.
A little Hawaiian guy, not dancing. No.
Actually, I mean, I was a fan of his before this current one.
The what's name was tight. The video for is it Strawberry Champagne?
Yeah, that's
the video was tight. Yeah, I mean, it was just him like in a great background dancing, but like I'm into the simple things. So like I was like, yo, this is a tight video. Like at first I'm like, okay, I'm probably gonna get bored of just watching this dude dance on top of a gray screen. But then like they added the
animation and all that. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a big.
Well, I was just wondering your opinion on the Cardi thing. A lot of people they feel like she just like this. She's not. They really feel like she's not gonna have another hit like that. Period. They feel like she's a one hit wonder, and she's about to fall off. You know what I'm saying? But she's being featured in a lot of people's stuff now. Like, I mean,
I'm gonna say it like this: she was the first female to be number one. First female hip hop artist to be number one, or rap hip hop artist to be number one since Lauryn Hill.
Right.
So to be like, well, she's not gonna do that again. It's like, well, Lauryn Hill didn't do it again. And there hasn't been anybody to do it since 20 years back. So like, to say that she's not gonna do that again would be accurate. But to say that,
they feel like she's not even gonna have a hit this period. Like she just gonna, she finna.
Well, the way her personality is infectious. So like, I don't dislike her as a person because like I've watched a few interviews. I'm like,
she's funny.
Yeah, she cool. Somebody was like, yo, she kind of like a girl Clark Roosevelt in the interview, and I was like, what? This when I first seen the interview, and I looked, and I was like, okay, I kind of see it, man. I can't you can't really deny her personality.
Yeah, she's kind of.
And so like,
well, it depends. I've seen some points where she was goofy, and others she was just like calm. So I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like where she can be goofy, but then at the same, you know what I'm saying, when something serious comes up, she can be serious. But she's not like snobby or like off, you know what I'm saying, offstandish. So, but my take on her is for her to be number one hip hop artist or to have the number one hip hop hit versus Rhapsody, No Name, couple other female artists, for her to get more notoriety than them, it's just like, I feel like us as the culture don't take the female hip hop side serious.
No,
for us to put her at the forefront,
most definitely, I agree with you there.
When I say us put her at the forefront, I'm not talking about like when we name in our top 5, but as in for her to be making the most money, for her to be having the most airtime, you know what I'm saying, getting all the interviews where we got Rhapsody and No Name and Jean Grey, you know what I'm saying, for artists like her, the chick that was on what's that show with Rick Ross? I think her name Just Brittany.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I seen that.
Cash Dog.
I seen you watched that recently. I seen it when it first was out. So I'm like, on that note, let's take a break and we'll come back. Again, you're listening to the Cascade Media Hour. Today we got Clark Roosevelt in the studio.
Man, I actually put this in my backpack. I'll be doing that with pens. I'll get to the house and have like 8 pens.
we're back. Okay, so you were talking about what the girl was named Just Brittany, right?
Just Brittany.
Okay, we're talking about people taking female hip hop artists serious, especially you talking about to have like a Cardi B at the forefront.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, even if you could just it wasn't always like that. Just the over sexualization of the female hip hop artists. Yeah.
Well, that not only just the female hip hop artists, but like the female period for the female anatomy period. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm into women and I understand that.
You make sure I'm into.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying. Just in case anything got misconstrued, just in case anybody's watching this and they want to date Clark Roosevelt. At the same time, I was trying to solve a problem. And, you know what I'm saying?
I'm into women.
Kill a problem off and solve a problem at the same time. But yeah, because like we said, Queen Latifah.
Right, this is a Queen Latifah, MC Lyte. I guess you could say it sort of started with like Salt and Pepper and them, because remember they was kind of sexy. But compared to like MC Lyte and Queen Latifah, they were straight up, you know, people like them, but they was rapping. They was spitting, and people like, okay, yeah, they lyrics, you know, they was dope. But now it's like,
but it's also the over sexualization of the black woman.
Well,
at the same time,
true, yeah.
Because you have Taylor Swift, you have like Kelly Clarkson.
So you're not necessarily black when you're talking about women in general.
Well, I'm saying, like, when you have the ratio of noble black women and noble white women, there's a lot more unsexualized white women than there are black women.
Oh, okay, I see where you're going.
And the ones that the black women that aren't sexualized are like over in the quarter. Yeah, like for real, because we got.
Because even some of the artists that you named as far as hip hop wise, the female ones, like, they're dope, but at the same time, all you hear about is Nicki and Cardi
and No Name and Rhapsody alone can smack them.
Right, they can kill it.
You put them in a cipher,
they're done. They're done for. Like, even somebody was trying to come for Eve said something about she said something about Nicki Minaj, and you know that cover she had with the paper magazine. You didn't see the cover?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look it up for you. So you didn't see the cover with Nicki where she was like, basically, it's like her doing a menage a trois with herself.
What? See, man, that's nonsense, man.
And so Eve made, she made some comments. She felt like Nicki was doing it for attention. And some people was coming for Eve, and it's like people don't even realize who Eve is. She will murder some people on the mic too.
Yeah, Nicki's her back is against the wall now that Cardi has like popped up. Like, we need the album from this. My take on Nicki is she trash now. After that, what's old girl name?
Well, I mean, I feel like I heard some of her stuff like before she got with Wayne, and I will say the sound is different.
That's because she had it before she got in the industry. You could do whatever you want before you get in the industry, but when you get inside the industry,
well, that's why some people want to just stay independent.
Yeah, like Chance. If
some would say, depending on who you ask, he's not independent. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, well, I agree too, man. Because he was like, yeah, man, I dropped the album on my own. Then it comes out that Apple Music.
Well, I mean, that's not exactly the same.
It's not getting signed, but it is getting signed at the same time.
Well, I'm trying to look for the wrong one of it. But yeah, it's like a picture. Here it is. Of her. It's like 3 of her.
What?
And then there's like a whole spread of different ones similar, like. And then remember her, what's her dude, Sharif? Is that her ex?
Yeah.
He put something on IG talking about when we was together, I wanted you to take pictures like this for me, but you wouldn't or whatever. So people was talking about that.
He gotta stop being bitter, man.
And then somebody's like, shoot your shot. I'm like, he already was with her, so the shot is gone. He done.
The game over, man. Ain't no more shots.
But yeah, Eve felt like she did that for attention. A couple people saying, okay, whatever, but they just feel like she was just doing too much.
Well, one thing with us as a black community, we want to check people on the wrong things.
Oh yeah, well, you know, some people are like, well, you're supposed to, people looking up to you. Nicki Minaj is a rapper. She's not. I mean,
who are the black girls to look? Who are the little black girls to look up to at this point?
Well, she's not first lady anymore. Michelle Obama. She was somebody to look up to. Oprah. She's somebody to look up to. You wouldn't look up. I mean,
I'm a 4-year-old girl. $1 billion doesn't matter to me.
Okay. I would say Michelle Obama would be somebody that.
I'm a 4-year-old girl. Michelle Obama got out of office when I was 3.
Right, you're right.
There's nobody.
Or was it Maxine Waters?
Who is that? Are you talking? No, you're not talking. I'll reclaim my time. I'll reclaim my time on that name. I'll reclaim my time on you naming her. No, I'm not gonna. No, there's no 4-year-old girl on earth. Oh, I reclaim my time.
Alright, Queen Latifah.
Oh no. Her show was horrible. No.
You talking about her talk show or her?
Oh, that was the worst talk show I've ever heard. No. I'm a talk show connoisseur.
Oh, you are?
And I would cringe. It was.
I think I've only watched a full. I only watched like a 1 or 2 full show of her show. Like, it wasn't that bad, but apparently it was because they canceled it.
It was.
So
they canceled that joint. It was like, hey, yo, I think got Steve Harvey. Oh, we gotta get us a black woman. And Queen Latifah had an open schedule, and they was like, yo, you want your own talk show? She's like, I want my own talk show. And it was just bad, man. It was almost as bad as her acting, man.
Oh, wow. I was gonna say, she was like comedic stuff, so it's usually funny.
She was tight in Chicago.
Okay, yeah.
But
what? You came for Queen Latifah's acting?
Man.
Oh, no.
She gave up rapping. I feel like I hope she saved her money. If like, yo, you said you about to do what, Queen? And you about to stop doing what? Girl, I hope you saved your money. Or invested it. Because, oh, man. And I'm not saying I want a Queen Latifah. Oh, I don't want a Queen Latifah album. No, I don't.
What? I mean, when she rapped, she was dope.
But, like, this is the thing about people that rap. Most people that rapped in the 90s. They still rap like they in the 90s.
Well, okay. You're right.
Like, Ice Cube drop an album and nobody's looking for it. Except for, like, OGs like, yeah, Ice Cube about to come back and take the game over.
So I guess you could say the only one person who's transcending time with hip-hop is Jay-Z. Cause he's
Hove, Nas.
Yeah, because Jay-Z, I mean, he started in the 90s, and then he's still the 444 when it dropped, man. Well, see, like, you know,
Jay-Z evolved.
Okay,
he still rap exact. He still got the same cadence, not same subject matter, but he's evolved as a man, a businessman, and a storyteller.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah,
and
I can say that.
His storytelling ability has evolved because his stories have changed, because he's learned so much.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Him and Nas.
But I'm just thinking about what you're saying as far as, like, somebody who was old school, if they tried to make a CD now, it's kind of like, yeah. But the thing is, also, he kept making, like, he took little breaks, but for the most part, he stayed active with albums. So
that's true, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess he would be, I guess you say, one of the
only
few
he's smart. He's going to getting producers who are still producing versus.
Yeah, because this one he had No ID who's still.
Yeah, he had, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, No ID is one of those producers from back in the day. No ID understands that the times are different, and so is the sound. And so now that the sound is different, he's adjusted from what he's sampling, the drums he's using, the drum cadence he's using, and he adjusted that to Jay-Z, because all those tracks was made for Jay-Z versus Jay-Z coming in like, hey, yo, man, play me something. So,
okay. So one last question that we're going to start wrapping, and this is from hotnewhiphop.com. It says, Kanye West versus Jay-Z, who had the better debut album?
Kanye.
Oh, really?
Kanye's music is better than Jay-Z's.
Oh, what?
I flat out said, like, I have no. I
think better. Like, I think I like Kanye better as an artist because he's well rounded. Like, he can produce, he can rap, he can do all that. But I wouldn't necessarily say. I mean, I'm not saying Kanye's not good.
He's not a better
artist.
Lyricist than Jay-Z.
Oh, okay. About to say clarify.
But I like Kanye's music more than I like Jay-Z's.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it like this: there's no Hope album that's better than My Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Dark Twisted Fantasy was good, but I wouldn't.
That's like one of the best hip hop albums ever. A lot of people don't like Kanye, so they just dismiss his music. Okay. Which is like, you just gonna miss out on
a masterpiece.
Yeah. And I'm like, yo, you trust me in my music opinion, in my theory, like, yo, go listen to this album.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna listen to it. I know
he's
I'm not.
Crazy,
like,
yeah.
Like, yo, like, you don't.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want to say about him, but he's a musical. He's a genius.
From music to live performance, there's nobody.
Okay.
There's nobody.
So tell us again about your toy drive and where people could get information about it.
The toy drive, the Santa Clark toy drive. You can get information on Facebook. Just type in the Santa Clark toy drive. We will be having our kickoff show this Wednesday with Joy Origami, Ogechi, Crystal, Sway, Tiggs, missing something like my homie Noble Savage from OKC is coming, and Royal Chief. We're gonna be at 825 Studios Wednesday, starting at 8:00.
Okay, and then
we bring it. We're trying to raise 500 toys for the next month. We don't have our drop-off spots yet.
Oh, okay. So,
but we will.
That's what I was like. What if people can't necessarily make it to the event?
Yeah, if you can't make it to the event, we'll be announcing all our drop-off spots. One spot will be the YMCA on Linwood.
Okay.
You can come in, just drop some toys off. We're trying to raise 500 toys. I'm trying to get 500 toys however I can. You got any ideas? Got an event going on and you want me to come out? I'll rap. I'll sing.
I'll tap
dance, whatever I got to do to get these toys for these kids.
Okay.
So yeah, man.
What about your social media? Like, why don't you tell them where they can find you?
My social media, you can find me on Facebook at Clark Roosevelt. ClarkRoosevelt. Twitter, which is about to change. I'm about to change that to Clark Roosevelt. Same as my Instagram, and my Instagram is Clark Roosevelt all together. Okay. And my Twitter right now is Clever Me, CLVR Me.
Okay. And did they look up the clothes on there?
The clothes, cleverworld.com. We got some stuff dropping this Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, y'all first. I ain't even put it on Facebook or nothing yet.
Oh, so this is exclusive.
Give us the bomb. Give us the bomb. What's the DJ name of New York? I'm having a brain fart, but yeah, drop the.
Okay, exclusive. So check out cleverworld.com. He has some stuff dropping on Friday. And of course, it's the Cascade Media Hour brought to you every Monday at 6 p.m. And make sure you support. If you're here in Kansas City, you can drop off a toy. Like I said, if you can't make the event on Wednesday, you can come to the Linwood YMCA and bring a toy. He's taking toys up until, is it Christmas Eve? Or?
Well, like, one thing we're going to do, well, whatever money I make off of this, we're going toy shopping.
Okay.
At Walmart.
Okay.
So I mean, anytime before then, we're doing that on Christmas Eve. So anytime before then.
Well, I commend you for giving to the children and helping with the community.
Shout out! I gotta do shout out. Shout out to my boy Epitome, Cuddy Bear, Mr. Perfect, and New Black City. Man, they doing drives too.
New Black City.
Yeah. So and a couple of them had come to me and was like, "Yo, man, what you did last year really inspired me to do one myself this year." So
okay, that's what's up.
Shout out to them. I really appreciate
Santa
them.
Clark.
Hey.
And I'm Serenity, reminding you to spit your piece. You can find me on social media at Serenity. That's SERENITY, and then 2 underscores, and then the word speak. And everyone have a good day again. You'll listen to Cascade Media Hour brought to you every Monday at 6 p.m. on 98.5 KUAW.